was my best friend. It's hard to lose both a best friend and a parent at the same time. Not a lot of kids can say that their parents are their best friends. Well, fortunately, in my case, he was both, and I feel so grateful to have had that experience. Okay, if I'm being completely honest right now, I'm like shaking a lot right now because I'm very nervous to make this video. Before we get started, just so we can get the elephant out of the room, this is part of my living room in my new place. So I want to thank everybody who congratulated me on getting my new place. I appreciate it. I'm very excited to be on my own, officially starting adulthood. So it's exciting. So once again, I want to thank everybody who congratulated me. So wow, I didn't think I was going to be this nervous. Basically what this video is about is kind of an update on where I've kind of been with the whole passing of my father. I'm going to try not to cry through this video only because I did do my makeup just so I could look a little glamorous. Also just because I was very, very, very nervous about it. So gave me a reason to not, or at least try not to cry. So I'm just gonna start off by saying, if you don't know, my father did pass away back in December 7th, 2016, 10:55 a.m. to be exact. God, I'm so nervous. It is a hard topic to talk about because if you do know me, me and my dad were very, very close. I'm gonna start crying already, or at least getting choked up. So him not being here in my life is very, very strange. Okay. Like I said, it's very strange not having my father here. Very hard as well. I just want to give you a little backstory on my dad, where he grew up, where he was born. My dad was originally from Memphis, Tennessee. That's where he was born and raised. His mother's name was Ernestine Alexander, and his father's name was Melvin Alexander. He is one of 9 kids. Was one of 9 kids. He had many brothers and a lot of sisters, of course, if you have 9 kids like my grandmother did. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of siblings. I never got the chance to meet my Aunt Clara because she did pass away. I'm still shaking. Okay, I just gotta take a deep breath. I'm okay though. I have met every other one of my aunts and uncles on my dad's side. Unfortunately, my Uncle Marshall did pass away, and then my Uncle Melvin did pass away as well. I think I might be getting them mixed up too, but my Uncle Melvin or Uncle Marshall, sorry family if I'm getting this wrong, kind of nervous here, so if you're watching this, please don't judge me, did get into a vehicular accident, unfortunately. So I have my Uncle Dexter, which I do feel like I was a little closer to him on the uncle side. I have my Uncle Melvin, I'm sorry, my Uncle Glenn, who still resides in Memphis, Tennessee, and then I have my Aunt Lillian, who we call Lucy, who is residing in Washington. I feel like I'm leaving out some aunts and uncles, but I've met them as well. I unfortunately didn't get to see them as much growing up in my life, so I feel like part of them are still estranged, but I feel like as an adult, I'm getting to know them a lot more. So yeah, that is the siblings of my father. I know I feel like I'm missing out on some people, so I'm sorry. Once again, I'm just very nervous. My dad had 6 kids. If you want to be technical, 7, because he did partake in raising my one of my older brothers, Zach, who is from a previous relationship from my mother's. My oldest brother, Andre, was my dad's first kid. And then I have my brother, Ruiz, my second oldest brother. And then I have my eldest sister, Tonika. And then my second oldest sister, Relissa. And then it's me. And then I have my younger brother, Ronami. So he has 6 children. And then, like I said, if you want to get technical, he had 7. I have to get used to those, not pronunciations, but terms. So, because I do kind of talk like my dad is still here, which in my beliefs and my faith, I know that he still is here. So yeah, he grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, went to Booker T. Washington High School. Unfortunately, my dad did not finish high school. He got all the way to 11th grade. However, even though he did not graduate high school, he still did amazing things. He raised amazing kids. So, yeah, my dad was a very amazing person, and I want this video to be different than the last video that I posted, because that was my video of dealing with the loss of a parent. I want this video to be about my journey through the last 9 months without my father. And I'm going to be raw and honest about what I've gone through mentally and emotionally and even physically, so that I can reach out to somebody who has or is going through the same thing or something similar. For anybody who is watching this, who is my family member or my friends, I want you to know that I don't want you to worry about what I am about to say, because this is a huge platform that I am about to say this on, and I feel like this is a really good way for me to get it out without being face to face with somebody who I feel like is gonna worry, because I promise I am okay, because I have the strive of knowing that my dad wanted me to keep going on after he was gone. I'm sorry, I have not mentally or emotionally been okay. I did deal with depression when I was younger. However, when my father passed away, it did escalate quite a bit. I know this is going to be scary when I say this, because it's scary to me because I haven't said it verbally. I've only had thoughts like this, so it's helping me as well. But my mental state has not always been good. I personally have had suicidal thoughts because I have never been through a pain like this before in my life. And admitting it to myself is almost like lifting a weight off of my shoulders, because it's very hard to get through this life without basically my other half. I know from experience and watching a lot of the friends I had in middle school and high school that depression often leads to a lot of suicidal thoughts. So what I want to say about that is you are never alone in a situation like that. It's really hard. I'm sorry. I know this is triggering for a lot of people, and I don't, like I said, I don't want people to worry, because I promise I am okay. Because I still, even though his voice is not in my head anymore, because the voice in my head was my father's voice, and since he's been gone, the voice has been gone. However, I hear my own voice lately telling me that that's not what my father would want me to be thinking. Because it won't solve anything. It may take away my pain, but it'll leave everybody else around me in pain. I was doing really good. We all have a purpose in life, even if you don't think you do. No matter where you are in life, whether you are 10, whether you are 20, whether you are 40, or whether you are 60 years old, you were put on this earth for a reason. And I personally would never want anybody to feel like they are worthless of being here. Life is very hard, and it just sucks that he's not here to be one of the partakers in guiding me anymore. My dad always wanted me to strive to be the best that I could be, and I still, even though he is gone, want to make him proud. I want to make my siblings proud. I want to make my aunts and uncles proud. I want to make my cousins proud. I want to make my friends proud. But most of all, I want to be proud of myself. But the last 9 months have been very hard for me to do that. There are some times where I feel like I don't know where I'm going in life, and I know that's part of growing up and becoming of age. It's so hard to speak on this. What I want people to know about depression and anxiety is that it can't be taken away tonight. I feel like I've lived through it for at least 17 years. Unfortunately, I grew up in a household where my parents did argue often. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because parents often argue. It's a normal thing. It's a normal thing for people to argue a lot. I feel like it's healthy to argue. I know it sounds weird, but in my opinion, I think it's healthy to argue. Growing up, I always felt like I had to be the grown-up. I felt like if no one else was going to be the grown-up, I figured why not be the grown-up. And a lot of these things that I'm saying for the first time. I've never said them to my mother, I've never said them to my siblings, and I never said them to my father. There are a lot of things that I wish I could have said to my dad. One of the things that I wish I was able to do was to at least say goodbye to my dad. It was such a sudden thing, and that's what I feel we take advantage of in this life. We take advantage of our parents, we take advantage of our friends, we take advantage of love and life. We take advantage of all these things that if we just lived in the moment and we process things, that I feel like we would have more time. I feel like my depression, in a way, has made me stronger. I don't think depression is a weakness. Living with it makes you strong, because you feel like you have to be strong. I do get anxiety a lot, kind of like now. Like I don't physically show like I'm in those moods, because I've learned to cooperate with that part of my life. I've learned to deal with it. I know the ins and outs. I know when it's happening, when it's not happening. Sometimes it can just click on just like that. Nothing will happen, nothing will be happening. It'll just happen. And I feel like that's something that a lot of people don't understand who don't have it. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's just that a lot of people just don't understand. And that's okay, because you don't have to understand. You just have to be there for the person. I went to my father once about my depression. And at the time, I thought he was being so strict, so mean. But then again, I was at the age of 16, 17, where I wanted to rebel against my parents. And I thought I was the king of the world. I thought I knew everything in life. I thought I knew what I was going to do with my life. I thought I knew what I was going to be 10 years down the road. But at age 23, I am still trying to find my way. But that day that I went to my dad about my depression, he asked me what I had to be depressed about. And I told him part of the things that any teenager would feel like they're depressed about. I was struggling in school at the time. My parents had started arguing after they had gotten back together, started getting back into their ways, and he thought it was just a normal thing, things that I have been through before. So he thought I was strong enough, which he knew I was strong enough, and I know I am strong enough to handle a lot of things in life that I didn't think that I'd be able to handle. In a way, in my perspective at that age, I thought he had just brushed it off. And then he went into his whole speech about why God put me in this position that I am in. And at the time I didn't want to hear it because I was a teenager. But in a way, I do still feel like I am a kid because I feel like I never got the chance to be a kid. Because when I was younger, I felt like I had to be the adult. So I really feel like I missed out on a part of my childhood, just being a kid. If you are going through any sort of depression or anxiety, please just know you are not alone. If you feel too afraid to go to somebody face to face, hit somebody up on YouTube, someone you don't know. A lot of people have emails like I do. I will personally be here for you because I know what it's like to go through something like that when something tragic happens, or if it's just something in general. I know how you feel. I know about the suicidal thoughts. And if you are having suicidal thoughts, there is a anonymous hotline that you can go to. I know it's a big thing from Logic's song. I personally have never really been a fan of Logic, but this song is very, very beautiful. It's very powerful. I think it speaks out wonderfully to the society of young adults and teenagers and even children these days. So I will have the phone number linked in my description bar, and I will have it floating around the video the whole time. You will know. And if you are going through something like that and you see the number, you will know. But just know that there is always somebody willing to listen to you. Don't ever be afraid to go to somebody. I know that's something that I have to personally work on myself because I have never been one to go to anybody for help because I've been an independent person my whole entire life. And for some reason, I've always thought that going to someone for help is a sign of weakness, which it's not. It's something very courageous and very strong. You are admitting that you do have an issue, and it's okay for you to admit that you have an issue. But just getting the help that you need is something that will keep you here because there is somebody that wants you here. There's many people who want you here. And I don't know a lot of people. And in the last 9 months, I have isolated myself from a lot of people. Not saying I cut people off, but I have just isolated myself because I've just wanted to be alone. And I have never felt more alone in my life. I've got many friends, I know I do, but I've definitely isolated myself from them, and it's something that you should never do. I've been trying to connect with old friends lately. It's just losing a parent is never easy. And if you are going through something where you are losing your parent, or if you lost your parent, but if you are losing your parent, please take the time to tell them goodbye. Because, in my opinion, I never got the chance to say goodbye to my dad, and that's something that I wish if he was here for one more day, I would take the time to say goodbye to my dad. Because he was part of my whole world. And I've never felt so empty before. I've never felt so scared for myself in the last 9 months. I have definitely gotten better because I have been praying more. I have been talking to my Father, talking to the air like it is my Father. I've been working on it. And sadly, I've been working on it alone because, like I said, I'm a very independent person. And I've never wanted to bother anybody with my own issues because I know a lot of people have their own issues going on. But from one person to another who is going through this, that's never the answer. And I'm not saying that because I'm doing it, you need to go be independent and deal with this yourself. Go to somebody. If you are depressed about something, anything, don't let somebody tell you it's something so small because it can escalate. In the early stages of when my father did pass away, turned to drinking. I drank myself belligerent so that I couldn't feel. The last 9 months, I haven't wanted to feel anything, and that's when the thoughts of not wanting to be alive anymore started to set in because I thought it would be easier. Because not feeling the pain anymore would have been just easier. But that's what makes us human. Feeling, loving, hurting, being angry, just feeling in general can be a beautiful thing, no matter what kind of feeling it is. Wow, I really didn't realize how hard this video was going to be getting through it. But I guess my point is no matter what you're going through, it sounds so cliche, but it does get better. It may not get better overnight, but it gets better. It will become easier. It's been 9 months since my dad has been gone, and I still haven't felt like it's gotten easier. I hurt every single day. Every single day I don't want to feel, but also every single day I know that I was put on this earth for a purpose. No matter who you are, you have a purpose in this world. You have changed one person or another's life in a way that you will never understand. Part of me feels like I don't understand why so many people need me, because there are some times where I don't know why or how I would benefit someone else's life. And I personally hate feeling like that. I never felt like that when I was younger. I had such a free spirit. But if you or you know someone else who is going through this, the signs are very easy to tell. People isolate themselves. I have to do part of this on my phone. Oh wow, you can see my tear streaks. Like I was saying, people isolate themselves, they lash out, they become more quiet, and they kind of just become neutral and numb. So if you see signs like this, reach out to them, because that is a way that they are crying out for help. They are saying that I need somebody. I want somebody to worry about me for a change. I want somebody to be scared for me for a change. My whole life I felt like I've always been there for everyone else. But I've never had someone who checks upon me occasionally because they think I don't need it, because I always act like the strong person, because that's how I grew up. It all comes full circle. My dad raised a strong person, and that's something that I will always be thankful for. No matter how weak I feel in the moment, I know I am a strong person, because every night I tell myself I am here for a reason. My mom and my dad gave me life for a reason. You are here for a reason. I would never want anybody to feel what I feel every single day, because it sucks. It really sucks. No matter what race, no matter what gender, no matter what age, no matter who you are a special person. You are benefiting someone in your life, even if you don't know them. Every step we take on this earth, every split decision we make in this world is made for a reason. And I think that is what my dad has always been telling me my whole life. You have purpose. You have all the purpose in the world, whether you feel like it or not. I know you do. So if you're sitting in your room feeling like you don't want to feel anymore, like you just can't take the pain anymore, like you just blatantly don't want to be here anymore, take 1 millisecond of that time to think about all the people that you've impacted. Doesn't matter how you impacted them, because who knows what life would have been like if you hadn't done one little thing, whether it may have been the wrong decision or the right decision. There is no right and wrong in this world. There's just mistakes. We make mistakes in this world. We are made to make mistakes, to learn from them. You don't deserve to feel like you don't deserve to be here. Everybody deserves to be here. And if there is somebody making you feel like you don't deserve to be here, this video is so all over the place, but that's just my personality. But anyway, if someone's making you feel like you don't deserve to be here, in the lack of better words, fuck them. You are a bright light in the darkness of this dark, dark world we live in. It is a shitty place, and it sucks to be here sometimes. But if you surround yourself with family, friends, whoever, your faith in God, faith in humanity, or whatever you believe in, because your beliefs are your beliefs. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can be an amazing person, amazing mother or father or co-parent or stepfather, stepmother, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, cousin, whatever, because you are special. You are very special. So I want to end this on a good note, because I know that's what my dad would have wanted me to do. That has what I've been dealing with for the last 9 months. It has not been easy. Life is not easy. My dad was a fun, loving spirit. That's something that will always be with me, and that's something that I will always remember him by. I'm not one to be very vocal about how I feel or what I'm going through, especially with the death of my father. I'm not a very vocal person about my personal feelings, but I feel like it is the time to do that, because getting this off my chest right now, I feel so much lighter right now. So much lighter. And I feel like this is a step forward in my life that I can take, and I know that I will be okay. My dad, I feel like finally my dad will know that I am going to be okay. He is the spirit that lives inside of me, the spirit that keeps me going. My dad is my dad. He's not here, but he is still impacting my life so much without even being here. Because that's how much of an impact and an inspiration that my dad has been to me in my life. And I thank him so much. Oh my God. My dad gives me so much inspiration. So I want to end this on a good note. The last 9 months have been so hard. It has almost been a year, which is so crazy. But I am taking baby steps in towards being okay. So for anybody who is worried, I assure you, I am okay. I promise. I'm getting there. It's gonna take a while, but I'm getting there. Nothing happens overnight, like I said. But if you know anybody, or if you are feeling this way, please call this number, or even contact me. I have my Instagram, I have my Twitter, I have my Facebook, and I have an email that I will list in the description box, where we can get in touch if you feel like you just need to talk to somebody that you don't know, that knows what you're going through. But please call this number if you are having any sort of thoughts like this. I really do believe that they can help you. But because of the way my camera is acting, I am going to say goodbye now, and hopefully this video helped you through whatever you're going through. But I love you guys so much, to the moon and back. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep watching my videos. But once again, I love you, and thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. Dad, can you cat the camera?
I'm not
No. Mom!
Sweet tea has arrived. It's on. You know, it's showtime. This is the moment y'all been waiting on. They don't live here though, you know, so I gotta let them know everywhere, you know. This how they hack down in Mississippi. It's the Mississippi walk.
Nah, that's a pimp walk.
We got live singing. I said I'm walking in Memphis. I'm walking in Memphis, y'all. I'm down on Mill Street. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's when we do it down here on Mill Street.